Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Mega Absol time. Let's talk about this Pokemon. So, as far as pre-Mega abilities, this one's pretty obvious. Super Luck is pretty useless on this. I mean, I guess you could argue for pressure, but we're going with Justified. You can switch this thing in on like a knockoff, get an attack boost, and just start going, which is pretty cool. So, there's that. Now, that aside, I'll be totally upfront. I'm not optimistic about this Mega. This thing's bulk is it as bad as Alakazam? Let's find out. It is, okay, it's better than Alakazam, but it is an extraordinarily frail Pokemon. And actually, I think on the special side, it's a good bit worse than Alakazam. So, this Pokemon, I think it's equivalent to Zoroark. Yeah. Okay, no, it's a little bit bulkier than Zoroark as well. But this is a remarkably frail Pokemon. It can basically take 0 hits. And here's the other great thing. You can't really rely on Absol for hardly anything. And actually, I wonder if it even takes... I want to check something quickly. Because I don't think you can count on this thing, as I said, for anything. So it dies to 1 Goldengo, Make It Rain. I wonder if it dies to... It doesn't... Okay, it's not going to die to a 1 hit from Never-Ending Nightmare, but it actually comes close. It comes close to dying to 1 hit from Never-Ending Nightmare. It's taking, like, after rocks, I think it's likely to die. So, pretty horrifying stuff there, honestly. Pretty horrifying stuff there. Yeah, Absol is super frail. So what can you rely on this thing for? What can you count on Mega Absol to do? Well, you might say priority, right? This thing's got Sucker Punch. Not really. So a ton of the Pokemon in the tier that set up have priority, for starters. So, Sucker Punch isn't going to be that effective against some of those. You think about, like, DD, Extreme Speed Dragonite, for example. But then there are a lot of other ways. You've got Ival with Encore. You've got... What am I thinking? You've got Substitute, like Mega Gyarados runs not that Sucker Punch would do a lot, but it's got that option. You have... What else do we have? You've got moves like Hypnosis on random stuff like Xurkitree. Although you can bounce that. Actually, no, what am I saying? You can't actually get Encore. So you know what? I'll give that up. It does dodge a lot of the it dodges a lot of the typical ways to counter Sucker Punch. The combination of Magic Bounce plus Sucker Punch is kind of cracked. So I'll put some respect on Absol's name for that one. Yeah, you can rely on it to look cool. You can rely on it to look cool. The other thing that's pretty cool about Mega Absol it is worthy of consideration is Magic Bounce in general. Magic Bounce, obviously one of the best abilities in the game. Problem being, if you switch in Absol hoping a Pokemon will click hazards and then it attacks, you're probably just dead. I don't even know if this thing can take like a defensive Landorus Earthquake. So it actually can take max invested... Oh no, that's Earth Power. Yeah, you cannot take an invested Landorus Earthquake. Like, you actually die in one singular hit. Uninvested, like completely uninvested Earthquake, you're dying after rocks. You can only take 1. So yeah, Absol incredibly frail. So yeah, you switch it in on even a defensive Landorus and it clicks Earthquake, like you're actually dead. So that's pretty bad. You really can't count on this Pokemon for hardly anything. TP with the $3, thank you, saying, I'm making a bet that you add Olo. I doubt we will. I was thinking about Olo earlier on this team. I thought about a lot of different approaches, but I feel like the Olo version is the one I'm least optimistic about, so I don't think we're going to try that. But we'll talk about it. There are 2 moves I feel like you have to run on Absol. Knockoff and Sucker Punch. They're the 2 stabs. It just makes too much sense. And then from here, there are a few directions you can go. So I think, yeah, Knockoff and Sucker Punch are kind of the 2 top ones. And as I said, there are a few directions. So one is SDCC. This is kind of just, the standard Swords Dance set. And it does have 150 base attack, with that Sucker Punch Magic Bounce combo. So there is appeal. There is appeal. I do get that. Thank you, Mr. S, for the £2. Wishing me a good stream for the 20th time. Have we done that many? Oh my. Or have you been wishing me a good stream that many times? Those pounds are really, really adding up. Thank you. Guy says $10. He doesn't add all up. Yeah, okay, but magic code, that's pretty funny that it gets this. This thing has a lot of weird moves. I didn't ever take the time to look at this Pokemon's moveset, and I'm now feeling like I ought to. Kind of weird that it gets Calm Mind, like not worth using for sure, but it is counter would be hilarious on this guy. Like, yeah, look at me out here, just clicking counter as if I have the bulk to take any physical attack. Like counter an Olo flip turn and like kill something because you take so much damage. But no, counter is HP based, I believe. So you wouldn't actually, you do hardly anything back. Let me check counter. Yeah, returns double damage. I'm pretty sure that's an HP, not percentage. Fun fact about Shockwave, in early Gen 8, the Pheromosa, Quiver-Dance Pheromosa would run this and destroy Toxapex. It was really something. Anyway, guys, do remember to like the stream. I'm building Mega Absol. I think that deserves some respect. Anyway, the other way that you can go about this is the mix set. So mix sets, Ice Beam is a great move. And yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I think it gets Blizzard, but come on. And then there's Fire Blast and Flamethrower. So this is the mixed approach. Yeah. And then there's another thing I was considering, because this set seems kind of cool, but I was thinking about CC as well, Close Combat, because it hits Kingambit and actually kills it in one hit versus Flamethrower, which, you know, doesn't. And I feel like Flamethrower is not actually hitting that much. Like, it's kind of just Scizor and everything else Close Combat's sort of better for. So, I mean, Pharaoh as well, I guess, and Corviknight. I'm a little bit torn. I feel like for me, my personal set is going to be these three: Knockoff, Sucker, Ice Beam, and F-Throw. I think we'll start with F-Throw. We might change to Close Combat later, because I definitely do see the appeal in Close Combat. Just like hitting a bunch of random things harder, and taking advantage of that higher attacks. Actually, with Atrot too, maybe we start with Close Combat. So that way we only really have to worry about Ice Beam rolls as well. And I think we're absolutely going to go with this nature. So the good thing about Mega Absol, you can count on it. So what can you count on it to do? Speed control, fast Pokemon. That is literally it. And it's not even very good at that. It's actually not very good at being speed control. It struggles pretty heavily in that category. Like, there are a lot of very meta relevant Pokemon that outspeed it. Like, if we look and just filter it to OU. So Absol here at 115. So you're getting outsped. Actually, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Just 4. But these are very, as I said, very meta-relevant Pokemon. And none of them care about your Sucker Punch. They all resist it. So yeah, that's not going to be doing a whole lot for you there. And they can't even Terra. So it's not like you can bait them to Terra and then Sucker Punch them. That is banned in that decks. So yeah, a bit of a dire situation for our friend Absol. Now let's talk about the approaches. Potential routes. Let's talk about these routes. So option 1, bulky offense / offense with mixed set, like I'm doing now. This is the one I consider to be the most probable to work. Second most likely to work is HO. And this is the Swords Dance screens. So this would be, or it would be HO screens with SD Mega Absol. I don't want anyone to think I'm running screens on this guy. I don't think it gets screens, but I don't want anybody to be confused by that. Yeah. As I said, you really can't count on Mega Absol to do hardly anything. We just gotta hope it's better in practice than it is in the builder, and if it's not, we're cooked. And as I said, I'm not optimistic going into this stream. To be totally honest, I I'm not like bereft of hope. I think it might be good, but my hopes are not high. They're there, but they're not high. They've been sober for years dealing with Mega Absol. Anyway, the potential routes. Yeah. So then the last route is like bulkier / like balance with wish support. And this would be like where the Allo or Blissey comes in, and with Pursuit Absol. So this would be kind of where it's like almost like a semi-stall, and it's kind of a trapper and on like a fat hazard stack team, and you know, it can stay healthy with wish passing, which is not really, obviously it's not going to work against like a more offensive team, but the idea is that this Mega Absol would kind of be there for the fat matchup, which is not that common in Nat decks. So the fact that just fat teams aren't really all that popular, and when they are, they're like full stall, I really don't think this is the way to go. I'm thinking probably this kind of bulky offense is where we'll stay the whole stream, unless if it's going catastrophically poorly, we might try Absol on screens, because I think it does have a legitimate role on hyper offense. Having this much attack and that utility of magic bounce to keep hazards off, could pair it with like a savage spin out Volcarona, something like that. Yeah, so I think there's some synergy there that may be worth considering. But yeah, we're gonna go with bulky offense first. And I was chatting a little bit before the stream with Trishula, who is obviously, you know, has no idea what a Pokemon is, but occasionally he has an insight here and there. And he was saying maybe hazard stack, and that was my first thought as well, because I'm thinking, okay, you know, it's a magic bounce Pokemon, so it should be good on hazard stack. But then I thought a little bit more, and I'm like, well, it can't really stop any hazards because it's so frail. So is it really good on hazard stack? But it, you know, it has knockoff, so it's like, well, especially with a mixed set, I feel like it kind of does sort of fit on hazard stack, because if you knock off, you know, incoming walls like Pax Allo, you're still not beating them. Even with full hazards up, you're still actually not breaking past Pax Allo, but you're at least, you know, forcing them to recover, forcing them to click wish, recover, whatever that may be. So I'm inclined to, actually, I might want to check usage stats for these. But what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. I was just thinking about usage stats for Flamethrower and CC. I could check and see which one was better. Yeah, so I was thinking, well, you know, maybe we don't run on a hazard stack, but I did like the idea of Ogerpon with it. And I was thinking Ogerpon would be a good partner for Absol, mostly because it can punch holes pretty quickly. Absol is not the kind of Pokemon with a lot of time to waste. It's not going to be around for very long. It can take like one hit once, and that's pretty much all it's got. So I think it's good to have something that can soften up the team on the physical side and also block Allo flip turn. And then Trishula said, why not Spike? So I'm like, you know what, that actually does make some sense, because we've got this great knockoff user. We could run a dual stab on this. So yeah, I was thinking Wellspring was already in my head, but I hadn't considered Spikes. So credits to Trishula for that. A little contribution. As we know, Trishula's garbage, but you know, even a broken clock, right? Once or twice a day or something, unless it's, you know, going the same way. But we're gonna forget about that possibility. Trishula's a broken clock going the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of people saying, you know, Featuremon has high attacks, low defense, or both. Better go HO. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. There are a lot of bad Pokemon that exclusively work on hyper offense because they're bad. That's how it is. So let's think about speed tiers for Absol. Let's do some sorting, because I want to see like how fast we want to make this thing. I guess this is not really relevant, eh? We can do this later. Let's talk about the team. For now, we can do EVs on Absol later. For now, let's think about the team. Oh yeah, the other fun thing you can do here with these Pokemon, Allo kind of has to play a game because it doesn't want to click Toxic on Absol, because the Toxic can get magic bounced, right? the toxic can get magic bounced, and then it'll, you know, all it will be poison. So you kind of have to like, do you flip turn, do you toxic? Maybe you just click wish, but then you let this thing in and click spike. So it's not an easy situation, which I like. I was also considering Goldengo just so it can kind of keep those hazards up. We did that. We did a similar thing with the Marrow stream. We had like a Spikes Ogerpon plus a gold, and it worked pretty well. It worked pretty well. So I think there's something to be said about that. Yeah, and we need a rocker here. I'm expecting Landorus, so let's talk about what Absol needs. Absol needs, first of all, other Pokemon to do the breaking. And it needs pivoting. It needs pivoting. That's because it's super frail. It cannot switch in. It needs pivots. I'm thinking at least 2, and I think it makes sense to start that off with Landorus. We're going to, I mean, it fits very well with these Pokemon. It provides a ton of utility in one spot, which we do need because, need I remind you, we're running an Absol. Also, I want to point out, we still need a Ghost Resist on this team. Some might say, but Absol is a Ghost Resist, to which I would say, no, it's not. No, it's not. Absol is not a Ghost Resist. It is, I think it's taking like half from a Goldengo Shadow. Not quite half, but it's actually, it's taking a little less than half from a Goldengo Shadow Ball. It's a bit of a travesty. With rocks, I don't think it's switching in twice to Shadow Ball. So, like, this is as much a Ghost Resist as, like, a Mega Manectric is a Ghost Resist. Meaning, it's not. Yeah. So we're definitely going to need some support there. I could see... But let's think about what pivots we need for this Pokemon. So let's Absol wants to come in on. The other thing we need is a Breaking Core, which I usually try to do as early as possible, and we kind of got started with the hazards, which that's partly why I'm thinking we need a Goldengo as well, because that will help block Defog in the stall matchup. And we're starting with Mega Absol, a Pokemon that is maybe not useless against stall, but pretty close to useless against stall. Like, it's not good. So, yeah. Yeah, well, the problem is, so first of all, Zydog was, I think, bulkier than Absol. And then the other thing is Zydog could run a Choice Band and also just had, like, reliable priority and a very spammable move in 1,000 Arrows. And it didn't use up our Mega slot. So I feel like Zydog, for a lot of reasons, is better than Absol. But maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But let's talk about what Absol wants to come in on, because we need at least one slow pivot on this team. Like, Landorus is good, but this is not going to be like an HO. We need a little bit of a defensive core, and I think that should involve at least one slow pivot. As I said, I'm kind of doubting it will be Allo. Allo is usually, I mean, it can be run on offense. You should never count out Allo and Natex. It's pretty busted. But usually it likes bulkier teams than this, so I feel like it's not going to be our favorite thing. So let's see, Clodsire, we like to come in on that. Or actually, let's check out usage stats and do this by that instead. So it likes to come in on Landorus, honestly, because we got Ice Beam, Goldengo. I'll say Gliscor. We'll throw that. We got Ice Beam. I mean, doesn't love it, but it's likes it, maybe, you know. Sure, we can add Garchomp to the list. Putting a lot of weight on Ice Beam here, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay, King Gambit, yeah, likes that, because we've got Close Combat on our set. Almost forgot about that. Kind of Wellspring, Glowking. This is tough. Clodsire, yeah. Yeah, we may be in trouble, guys. We may be in trouble. Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar, I guess we'll call it. A lot of them, most of them that are used are Mega after all. Latias, Latios. I'd say that's probably far enough. Mega Beedrill at 2.3. That's kind of a lot. So let's think. Bulky Pivot. What'll it be? This is not looking like a list that Allo is super well suited for. Yeah, Trishula was trying out Corviknight. Maybe we go for that. It brings in some of these. Kind of brings in... I feel like Landorus kind of covers other Landorus. It covers Gliscor pretty well. But not most of these. What are some pivots? Let's take a look. We'll start with Volt Switch. I mean, a lot of these are ground types, but... No, I don't think Raging Bolt. We might want a Raging Bolt just because of Zard Y being what it is. Yeah. I too am glad to see Moon gone from the tier. Yeah, I will say Glowking actually looks pretty good here. Glowking looks kind of fire. Glowking is looking quite nice for this job. The classic. Yeah, Slowbro, not so good. Yeah, I also like Glowking is helping deal with Absol's fairy problem. Brings in a lot of these Pokemon quite well, actually. Yeah, I think it's going to be Glowking. Let's take a look at some other pivots just so we, do our due diligence here, but I'm thinking Glowking looks really solid. Also helps with the stall matchup a lot. Single regen Pokemon goes a super long way. Yeah, some recommendations for U-turn Gliscor, but pretty much none of these Pokemon actually switch into Gliscor. So, it's a good pivot, but I don't think you're looking at the list. Yeah, I mean, I think Glowking just fits this list so well. I don't think we really need to look any further. So let's throw on a Slowking Galar. My concern is that this team will just be unsupportable. I worry that... Yeah, I mean, the way is definitely offense. I think Lando Glowking, we might have to just completely call that good for our defensive core. And we might not be able to afford another real Ghost Resist. Maybe just a Pokemon that can take a Shadow Ball or two. I mean, Dragapult's gone from the tier, which is huge. The only Ghost type in OU is Gold. So, I mean, that's nice, but it's not... We're still in a tough spot, for sure. The other thing we can say, which I think is worth considering as well, is... So let's talk about Absol is outsped by... So let's just get this, because this will be relevant. Zama, Megalop. Coco, Ival, and then let's check out BL. Excuse me. Oh, it's OUBL, right? Or UUB. It's UUBL. Excuse me. Let's get the list there. So that'll be Weavile, Meowscarada. Let's put Cinderace at the top because I feel like that had actually pretty high usage. Cinderace, Weavile, Greninja, Meowscarada, and Tornadus. Therian. Okay. And it drops off pretty steeply from there. We're not going to count Hawlucha because that's in a whole tier of its own. Yeah. Guys, do please like the stream. Thank you for the attendance. Appreciate it. This is... Okay, so looking at this list, what we need to do... When you ask yourself, is my speed control enough? You got to ask yourself, well... Do I have solid answers for the Pokemon I don't outspeed? That's a very important question. Because, if the only thing that outspeeds your team is Zama and Lopunny, but you've got a max defense helmet Slowbro, you're probably okay. If you have one Pokemon that can take a banded close combat once, and you have nothing that outspeeds Zamazenta, you're cooked. So I'm trying to see if we need another speedy Pokemon other than Absol, or if we can kind of sneak by without it. And I feel like we're going to need another fast Pokemon. It's not looking good. Like Lopunny, I think we might need... Someone in chat said Bolt Zama, which I think is not a bad idea. I was thinking of the AV Bolt here to give us like a secondary Ghost Wall and an answer to Zard Y. And it gives us some additional priority as well. Potential final members. So I think Bolt and Zama was a solid idea. It makes a lot of sense. I haven't plugged it in and see if we lose to anything yet. Maybe I completely forgot. Generally, you want to steal. Because of the poison type of Slowking, it's not mandatory, but teams without steel types rarely go well. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. As I said, we're not going to be stuck on it. Sometimes teams without steals can work well, but it's not exactly a requirement, but it's not a good sign. And I'm actually seeing just why now. Yeah, if we added Bolt Zama, we'd have no Dragon Resist, which would be, obviously a disaster. So we can't do that. We can't do that. Trishula adding Scarfers in chat. Dude, obviously Scarfers. Yeah, come on. This list would be super long if I added all the relevant Scarfers. But yes, of course, there are Scarfers as well. But because Scarfers are restrained by being locked into one move, and their power level restricted as well, they're a lot less concerning, which is why you never see me add Scarfers to the speed control list. Unless it's, a particularly threatening one, or... maybe there are very few Pokemon that outspeed it, so I want to consider Scarfers. But in this case, we're not going to add a ton of Pokemon to that list. Okay, so... this is so tough, man. This is so tough. Because I'm looking at Zard and I'm like, we lose to that. But then I'm looking at... we have so many things we lose to. It's just devastating. It's really tough. Zama is usually a good add when you're in a tough spot. I will say, Zama gets you out of some things. So that is worthy of consideration. Moltres is another Pokemon. I'm just going to add it on there because Moltres is the savior of this tier. Like, you've got a ton of problems. Moltres is there to help. So that's definitely worth considering. Like, it deals so well with like almost everything on this speedy list. So yeah, that's worth considering. But we need a Dragon Resist as well. We need a Dragon Resist. Dragon Resist. Dark Resist. Ghost Resist. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tough. This is the tough thing. This is the tough thing because... yeah, this is the tough thing because you start a team with a Pokemon that does effectively nothing. In practice, it won't do nothing, but in the builder, you can't count on it to do anything. So you have to create, kind of prep for a ton of matchups with a Pokemon that's sort of theoretically useless and will not consistently perform any valuable role other than being not very good speed control. Like, that's it. So that's pretty dicey. I think we maybe go like Molt plus a Steel. Or a Fairy. Could be a Fairy. Are there any fair... I guess we could go like an Eevee that would fit. Sort of. Coco would theoretically fit. We could go a Scarf Lele of our own. That makes our Ghost issue even worse. Could go like double Sucker Punch with a Kingambit. But the problem with adding Kingambit here... is that it just kind of does the same thing as Absol. I don't think we need two of those. Eevee does not get Mystical Fire. No. People saying Absol reliably looks cool. That it does, I suppose. That it does. We could add a Scarf Gold here. I could see that helping us out somewhat. Not a lot, but a little bit. Be like Power Gem to help with the Zard Y crisis we're facing. This is brutal, guys. Steel. Let's look at some steel types, see if there's anything that can help us here. Because I'd like this team to be able to actually beat Fat, not just totally crumble. It's looking like we're going to need a Scarf Gold. I don't think I see a way out of that. Okay, I see one possible way to finish this team. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's one way. And it is Great Tusk, Guldango, and then a Molt. Moltres last. This team just looks so, like, weak. It looks too honest, and honestly, it looks a little too balanced. It looks a little too balanced. Like, I don't really want... I want this team... You know, I don't want a Great Tusk. Great Tusk is a Pokemon you need kind of... I want Landorus. I want everything to be pivoting on this team. We start this with 3 pivots. I think that's the kind of energy we need. I guess Moltres can run Defog, but man, it's not good at that. It's really not. You do not want your Defogger to be so vulnerable to rocks. I mean, we're going to run Boots, of course, but still. And then we've got this Mega Scizor problem creeping up as well, which is not great. I feel like we need a Molt, though, but maybe we can ditch that. Maybe we have to go Defog Moltres. Maybe that's the only way. We could also just go no removal and say, you know what, we ball. Could run like dual removal with Lando. I don't think that's a great idea. Let's check and see what we lose to with this team. I think there's a... Would it be a special Molt? Maybe like mix stuff, because we can't... We needed to switch into Zard Y, unfortunately. Spadef Heatran does not handle Zard Y. It carries Scorching Sands, which does like 70, and you can't really touch it, so no. And also, Spadef Heatran is an extremely passive, slow Pokemon. Not really what we want on this team. Okay. You want your team's tempo to kind of match. You want a lot of Pokemon that can, you know, keep things going. Keep the party pumping. Guess there's always the option of going with Trishula's favorite and adding a Chomp on here. Chomp over Lando, which does help with the Zard problem. But let's check. We lose 2. It's looking not too bad. We do have a Psychic immunity, so that stops us from getting washed by Specs Lele. That's one thing Absol can do. It's an immunity to Psychic. I'm surprised it doesn't get KO'd by those too, but it's not bad. Yeah, honestly, I think this might be the best we can do. I think this at least gives us a solid, I don't know what you call it, jumping ground to start testing some stuff. Not sure exactly what Lando... I think we go EQ, and I feel like we can run a Z attack last. Sounds kind of cool. Maybe... I kind of like the idea of like a Z Rock or Fly. I'm trying to think which one I like more. I feel like we actually don't struggle all that much with the birds, with the whole Wellspring and Glow King situation. I think I like the Fly nuke. I think I like that. And I honestly, I kind of want to Eevee this so it can live a Zard Y hit. How often do these guys run Fire Blast? Because I don't think we can ever live that. 10%. Is that small enough that we ignore? So that's going to be on less than 1% of teams will we see a Fire Blast Charizard. So maybe we can ignore that. We need to run a good bit of special defense to make this thing live. Are we okay with that? Yeah, I think we have to be. Eevee Glowking is an idea as well. I don't love the idea. I think Absol needs tons of pivoting. I really think it does. Like I think we actually need 4 pivots, and Glowking does a really good job of bringing things Absol wants to come in on. So we might go with AV. The other thing is just because of our hazard situation, I kind of prefer HDB, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. So okay, 248, and let's check. So I want this Landorus to at least outspeed Raging Bolt. I think that's important. So we're going to hit that. Or Heatran's like 253, right? So let's hit the 254. I think that's an important benchmark. How much SpDef do we have? Does 116 even do it? It does it with flying colors. Okay, we don't need that much. So let's just make this thing live a weather ball. And then we'll go adamant and attack invested for the rest. Okay, so it needs 52. And let's check. I think 56 or 64 plus attack, flying EMZ probably is killing Hazard. Was it 64? Right, 64. Adamant. Fly. Z. Yeah, oh, we're destroying Charizard. Okay, that's... it's a wacky set, but I think this works for our purposes here. Glow King, Chilly Reception, obviously. Do we want Future Sight? I think we might need it for the stall matchup. We can pretty safely say we want Sludge Bomb. Remark I appreciate the support. I'm not sure what you mean about calm or music. I think this is I don't think I've ever used intense background music, but I'm very proud to be your favorite Showdown YouTuber. So, okay. Let's just, I think more time testing is good, so we can probably just throw on a pretty normal Glow King set here. I don't think we need to rack our brains over this. We'll go Future Sight. Why not? And we'll throw on. Part of me almost want. No, we don't have really any. We have a really fast team to be running Trick Room, but I do kind of like that just for messing with sweepers. We could run Power Gem. It's kind of a funny tech, but I don't think it's a very good one. T-Wave, sorta nice. Could also just run Psychic Noise for the immediate damage. I don't think we need Flamethrower. Got a Moltres. I guess it's really T-Wave or Toxic is sort of the relevant question. Maybe because of the Raging Bolt, we go... Psy Shock is sort of an option too. No, but we're not beating a... let's be honest, we're going to lose to a Volcarona anyway, aren't we? Absol equals real Ghost Resist trust. I don't trust that, not for 1 second. Not for 1 second do I trust that. Jeez, what do we do, guys? What are we going to do? I think we're okay with Zardwai, though. One of the things that's giving me hope in that matchup is that we have this, this Landorus here that can kind of force it out on leads, set rocks, then we have gold to keep them up. That's a pretty nice combo. Now, Zardwai Cinderace is still rough. But it's that's not too common. Someone says T-Wave is your only shot against Volk. Yeah, but we're gonna deal with it with Molt anyway. We'll come back to it. Moltres, I think Zardwai is still a threat, So let's see how much Moltres defense we need to like not get two-shot by this. And these things run Air Slash, right? How hard is it not to get two-shot by Air Slash? Oh, it's the same as Weather Ball. Okay, I mean, it's still going to farm us, but at least we can stall it out and then go Glow King, I guess. So how much Spit F do we need? Let's go 8. Air Slash still has a chance to kill. We'll go 12. Sure, 248, 12. Sounds fine. I think we want mostly Fizz Def because we kind of have a special wall, sort of, in Landorus, and Landorus kind of mixed. This is special, so I want this to be mostly physical. And we need the 19 for King Gambit. They almost never run Jolly in Nat decks. They almost never do, but it puts my mind at ease to know we're definitely going to outspeed King Gambit. We want U-turn. We want Flamethrower. We want Roost. Last move I could see being Roar or Brave Bird. If we face a Mega Gyarados, like, we kind of just lose, don't we? Like, it's pretty bad. Do we just hope we don't see a Mega Gyarados? I hate that approach. I guess a lot of them don't actually run Waterfall, though, do they? I mean, let's see. See what they're doing. And no, they all run Waterfall. Okay, they... Ooh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, I think we just lose to that is the plan. Because we can't do anything about that. I guess we just have to save Lando Z and keep it healthy. I guess we can chip it, maybe get it with Absol. Maybe Colbur. Maybe Colbur Glow King is what we need for that. Ah, jeez. Okay. I'm not even sure if that would do. We might have to go Mix Def and Colbur. Defensive Glow King. Spit F Molt could be another approach. Another possibility to kind of shore that up a little bit. Yeah, I thought the Crunch EQ were the two moves they always ran, but I was not right about that one bit. Maybe we do run Trick Room on this just to, like, tech it. Let's throw on T-Spikes. Why not? Like, I hate this as a move in OU. I think it's just super inconsistent, but in Nat decks, it's pretty good. In Nat decks, let's Eevee it for Diancie. Diamond Storm. Oh, we're going to need way too much defense for that, aren't we? $164. Sure. That's a lot. It's a steep bill, but we're counting on this Glow King pretty hard to do that. I mean, I guess we have gold, which can kind of switch into, because that'll be Scarf. Maybe we don't need this. Maybe we can just go max Spit F on this guy. Are we comfortable doing that with our Mega Diancie matchup being what it is? Let's keep it like this and let's go Colbur. And last on this, it's going to be Brave Bird or Roar. What do we want more? I think it's got to be Brave Bird because we can Roar Volcarona, but that's not going to actually save us in the long run, will it? And then this, we go Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, obviously. The weird thing is, I want to go Power Gem for Zard. And to a lesser extent, Volcarona. I want to run Trick, but then there's also King Gambit in the tier, so it's like, but we weren't going to hit Focus Blast anyway. Let's run Trick. If you're running this on your own, maybe you should run Focus Blast if you're using this team after the fact, but I mean, actually, you can see, I recently collabed with Winterbob. for a charity stream we did, and I came on and, you know, fixed a team one of the donors submitted. But I missed, I think, either 7 or 8 focus blasts a row. It was the entire stream. I like the odds were like 0.2% or like 0.02%. It was miraculous. So I think I may be cursed, which is not real. I'm probably, but yeah, I mean, I hate running focus blast. I just don't want to do it today. So, okay. Now let's talk about Absol. I want to go as much attack as we can, but let's first talk speed tiers. So OU, I think the fastest thing in OU speed sorted was just that doesn't already outspeed us is Diancie, so 350. And UUBL, let's check that. That is going to be also 350. Let's check UU. Are there any UU Pokemon that are actually like real that we see? Zygarde's not really real. I think we just go for 351. Honestly, I think that's fine. Or 352, because you skip. 351 is one of those skipped tiers. I think that's fine. Someone said they're kind of worried for... Yeah, being worried about opposing Ogerpon is totally fair. I'm terrified about that as well. Yeah, we might want to go Fizdef Glowking. Fizdef Glowking is kind of looking more appealing. Potential... Let's just write there some potential changes. AV Glowking, HDB Glowking, Colbur Glowking, Fizdef Glowking, plus Spadef Molt. I think those are worthy considerations. So, okay, that should be fine for Absol's speed. Oh, I went one too many. We just want to outspeed the 350s. That seems like a good place to be. Now, let's take like, whoops, Absol, no, come on now. Can we even kill a defensive Gliscor with Ice Beam? Ready for the moment of truth, guys? Let's see how much Ice Beam's doing. Actually, let's take out Pursuit, because we're not going to use that. All right. Okay, that actually is not bad damage at all. Okay, Absol. I see you. Wow, okay. Getting it done. All right, let's... Oh, wait, you click a plus and then it flips out on you. And I don't think even with Max we're killing that. Yeah, so Landorus, let's check that. Let's see what we're doing here. So, okay, we're killing uninvested. How much to kill max HP? That's looking like a roll we can maybe hit. Okay, maybe not. This is not going... Actually, that's going up decently. Okay, a 96. Kind of a lot to give up. Does that get us anything? It does not get us Garchomp. Gets us offensive Garchomp. Actually, no, that does get us offensive Chomp. Are there any other big, weak Pokemon that I didn't consider with the Ice Beam calcs? I think that's it. Is that really worth it? So it was 96, yes? 40. I don't think that's worth it. I think we just throw in the 40. Um, 96 attack Absol for offensive Chomp and max HP Lando. So yeah, this let's see how much 40, like where does 40 get us? 40 is putting us at a 75% chance to one shot, little bit of chip and we're getting the kill, and offensive Chomp is like 80% chance to kill. I think we just go max attack. I think we're not going to be clicking Ice Beam that often, so I feel like this is probably the approach. Oh, this is the wrong Landorus. Therian, my bad. Thank you, guys. Wait, it's the same, though, isn't it? I think their bulk is the same. Yeah, yeah, their bulk is exactly the same. So it did not matter. Our calcs were correct. But thank you for pointing that out. I did miss that. But yeah, bulk is the same. Okay, I think we're good to go. Yeah, I feel like we've got a lot of things we can fish for pretty well with this team. I'm not totally sure how this is going to go. I'm far from optimistic. Oh, Defog Molt is another thing we should consider. Yeah, Defog Molt is worth considering. All right, let's run this. Let's run this team and just see how it goes. I've given it my all. Okay, we're getting softballed to start off. It looks like this team does actually though they're higher than us. So time to lock in and stop disrespecting and start playing well. And immediately we see a Pokemon I maybe should have Eevee'd Absol for. That's not good. But let's lead with Absol. I mean, Serp is pretty rare, right? Like, does anybody actually run this Pokemon? I did see it. Okay, 3%. That's kind of significant. I don't know if we Eevee for that. Okay, I do believe we live a Leaf Storm. I'm going to check here. We Mega Evolve. Dude, what? All right, oh, because we're minus Spadef as well. And that's 2... Nobody runs 200 Spitaxer. 50% chance to die? That's tragic stuff, man. Okay, let's go Molt immediately. Okay, it's Reflect. We're going to go immediately Gold so we don't get glared. Okay, fair enough. We could Trick, but I kind of want to save that for later. Oh, but you're probably switching, aren't you? Let's Trick. Okay, no. Good switch to Banette. That was nicely done. All right. Let's just get up rocks. Hazards look really good against this team. And, okay, that did a lot. More than I thought it would. We have a good chance to die here. Are we okay with dying to get up rocks? I think that's okay, because this goes really well into Mega Absol here. Okay, we survive. Beautiful. I think we can just go Molt here. I'm pretty sure Molt walls this thing forever. And, yeah, we can... Let me U-turn here. Okay, we get in the crest. So, okay, this feels like just an Absol moment. Actually, what I like better is Ogerpon Spikes. I think this team's going to get really fall to Hazard, so I want to stack up. Okay, the T-Wave is unfortunate, but I still say we stack up. We want a U-turn here. Hopefully we don't get hit with the double para. But yeah, we want a U-turn here. Okay, Banette's going to... Come on, we get hit with... That's a really unfortunate double para there. Because U-turn into Mega Absol would have been... Well, but let's check. Hold on. Moltres here can come in. How much is it taking? So we can go Molt, and we can, I think, just stall out its Poltergeist by roosting, which is fine. As long as we don't get critical hit, we won't die. I believe, yeah, we're going to live. Like, see, that is kind of totally fine, because that's sort of what I wanted to do. Like, the plan was to stall out the Poltergeist, which I think my opponent is now understanding. So, okay, let's U-turn. This is a little scary. Can Gold live a Fiery Wrap? I don't think it can. 50% chance to live a Fiery Wrap. It's not really what you want to see, is it? Can Absol live a Hurricane? No, it cannot. I think, is Mega any bulkier? Mega's no bulkier. Awesome. I think we have to go Gold and hope we don't get 50%ed. And I think we have to Trick. But then there's also the flinch. So the odds are kind of out of our favor in this ultimate scenario. We could go Wellspring and Cudgel and hope for a Hurricane Miss, but it probably has Z. We could go Slowking and go for a Sludge Bomb, but then we give it the, we activate its ability. So I think, yeah, I think this is, unfortunately, this is where we're at. Let's Trick here. Roar Molt would have been good here, I'll say. Okay, we live. Do we get flinched? We do. It's Z. Okay. Bad news, obviously. That's very bad news. So, okay. Yeah, we're... All right. Let's sack Lando. It's gonna... Yeah, it should nasty. Okay, yeah, I think we lose. So, yeah, I think we lose. Let's go for the Z, but yeah. I honestly, the Trick thing kind of just... That was an SVOU player moment. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Mega Absol, bait the Fly Z, because it'll do the thing where it's probably going to Z, so it doesn't have a chance of missing. Did we get it? It did use the Supersonic Sky Strike. Wellspring, which do we go first? I think, honestly, Absol looks really good here. So I think the odds of Wellspring surviving... What? Yeah, let's go Ogerpon first and click Cudgel. And then we go Absol. And if both Hurricanes hit, then we just lose, and we did our best. Okay, it's going to Fiery Wrath and get the kill, unfortunately. That was a roll. Let's go Mega Evo. Hurricane's going to miss. That is exactly what we needed to happen. We're going to Ice Beam, and I believe that does put us into Sucker range. Beautiful. Okay. Obviously, was that lucky? 1000% yes. We absolutely needed that RNG, though. Body Press here is killing guaranteed. We don't want that. Let's go Molt. No, actually... Okay, this is... No, because we don't have Roar. We might actually be cooked here, but at this point, there's nothing I can really do about that. So what we're going to do is set up a T-Spike for the Suicune, and then we're going to go right into Molt and start clicking Flamethrower, try to burn this thing, hope it doesn't have Rest. Probably does, but we can maybe PP stall it out of Body Presses. Okay, because see, that's doing nothing. So even if Rest is its last, I don't think it actually does enough damage to kill us. We can go for Chilly Reception here and just start clicking U-turn Chilly Reception loops. I think that's fine here. Gives us, keeps us pivoting around. And yeah, let's just go into this and click Knock. Even if it's Scarf, let's check, because Scarf Crest is very much a thing. Scarf Crest Moonblast is not doing it here, so let's go in and just Knock. It might go for the Scarf, like Lunar Dance. Okay, it was indeed Scarf, and it went for the Lunar Dance. But I really don't see Registeel as being a threat, especially if it doesn't have Rest. And anything that comes in will be healed and then take hazards. So it's not going to get past the Toxic Spike. Threats. Sweepers are proving problematic. Gmolt. Might be we can't afford Wellspring and we need to replace it potentially for an H-Rot. H-Rot over Wellspring. Could be maybe the move here. Serp. All right, that's a weird Pokemon to cloak in Mystical Light. I don't really get it. I think we click Knockoff here. Actually, no, that completely makes sense. You have Defog. Please don't get Evasion dropped. Okay, cool. It doesn't get the Evasion thing, so that's good. And we go Moltres on this every time. Yeah, Debond, that's fine. We're gonna Flamethrower you. Okay, we're gonna Roost here. Feel free to Encore. Suicune's going to come in, fine. I think we U-turn in immediately into Absol and click Knockoff. We do die to 2 Scalds, which is okay. And we get burned immediately. That's not okay. Getting burned immediately is not okay. We needed that to not happen. I think Suicune can beat us now. We're going to go into this, and we're going to... We got to go Molt. We're so in trouble. Let's U-turn here. Yeah, we caught Suicune coming in, which is good. But I think we still... I don't really see any way out of this. Let's go Slowking here. I don't think it's going to want to get knocked. And then I think we Sludge Bomb and try to catch it on the switch and poison it with Cloaking. I think that's our only hope. If we didn't get burned there was much more of a real shot for us winning this. At the same time, we're only really in this position because we got the Z-Fly thing. Yeah, that was tough. That Z-Fly thing was really difficult. And yeah, good read. Good read. We can't beat this. GG. All right, let's save time. Yeah, that was pretty tragic there at the end. The burn was really bad. But as I said, we were only in that position because we got a Hurricane miss. I'm happy with how I played that game. I will say, I think I played that really well. I think the team just completely let me down. Yeah. Yeah, no, the team let me down there. I feel like I piloted that pretty darn well. Roar Molt would have been great though, I will say. So let's try that. Roar Molt would have helped us out a ton. Yeah. Yeah, no, Roar Molt would have been big. Colbur G, I mean, the T-Spikes were good, but on the other hand, maybe letting Landorus take the Poltergeist when there was that G-Molt around was a bit of a mistake. That could have been an error. Somebody saying Mystical Fire over Flamethrower for Volk? No. So first of all, Volk runs Substitute a lot. Second of all, Mystical Fire activates King Gambit Defiant, which I don't love because the team's already pretty weak to that. But thank you very much, TP, for the $10 donation. I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I maybe I underestimated Moltres a little bit. I forgot about the Z thing, and I should have kept Lando healthy. But yeah, I'm mostly happy with how I played that game. But let's try again here. Let's try again here. I think this team looks less threatening. I feel like we should be in a better spot. I think I want to just lead with Absol, and because we can Ice Beam the Garchomp and, as I said, you know, probably kill it. And a lot of the other team doesn't like knockoff. We got to be very aware of that Gyarados, though. So let's lead with Absol and just see where that gets us. I'm expecting a Chomp lead, and I want to just Ice Beam it. Okay, we see Raikou. Why do we keep facing these super weird Pokemon that nobody uses that we don't outspeed? I mean, we can Mega Evo survive and knock off here, unless it specs or hits us with like a D-Gleam. I think we do that. Okay, we get Gyarados. That's actually really, or potentially really good. I think I'm happy for the damage either way, but this is kind of, this is what we feared, isn't it? I think we go immediate Landorus. Waterfall, 6.3% chance to kill. We immediately click Supersonic. We get flinched instantly. Okay. 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 It should crunch here. Can we afford to sack Lando and safely go Wellspring in this matchup? Can we afford that? Or is Landorus important? I think Landorus is... Can we afford that in this matchup? To not have that resource? I'm going to say I think we can. So I'm going to go for the Z. Okay. It also covered if it DD'd again. Obviously, that would have been a complete disaster if we stayed in on that. So this thing actually, this Gyarados actually does not necessarily... I think we have to Power Whip. Okay, I went for the Whip. Hopefully we hit. We do hit. Gyarados down. That's good. I like how we immediately run into that Gyarados I was worried about, eh? That's kind of funny. Okay, this... I do like Wellspring this game. I don't think it's crucial that we keep it in tip-top shape. I'm going to just attack. And I'm glad I did. I think that's into Absol Sucker Punch range, which is pretty nice. It is, yes. We can go Molt here. Molt is not really essential for this game. And we can also get a nice burn here on the CC. Thunder Punch is the only thing that's really threatening. Thunder Punch and Liquidation are the only threatening things. I don't think we'll see either of those. Also, yeah, I've started doing the thing where I put chat down, so I cannot see you guys right now at all. I think I was too often playing poorly because I was being distracted. Okay, not like to blame, like totally my fault that I was choosing to, but that's what I believe was happening. Knock does not kill here. I think I'm just going to go for the Flamethrower. Okay. It did get burned there. It didn't matter, obviously. I didn't want to Roost and then get Encored, which is why I made the play I did. This is interesting. I think we have to... I really don't want to let Molt go because of the Entei situation, but I think we have to. Well, actually, not quite. We could go gold, but then we might get farmed by Togekiss. How important is gold here? It's the only thing that outspeeds Raikou. You can click Shadow Ball, which is nice. Let's click Roar. Okay, I kind of feared the Scale Shot there, but there was nothing really I could do about it. I'm going to hope it's not Z Dragon. I feel like most of these like to run, you know, loaded dice on this. I'm just going to go for Power Whip here, because that kills, whereas Ivy Cudgel doesn't. I think we have to hope this thing stays in here and goes for the dice Scale Shot, which does not kill. If 4 hits, we also survive the Rough Skin. Although, we would speed tie Raikou even if we made Absol speedy. I wish we had Lando, but that was, the flinch was sad. I feel like maybe Scizor. Maybe Scizor over gold could be good. It is Z. Okay, you know what? I was hoping that wasn't it. I didn't think that'd be it. And oh wait, hold up. And we miss. Awesome. Okay, so it was Continental Crush. We would have lived it, but then we missed, so we didn't live it. And that's it. That's all there is to tell about that story. Okay, let's think about what to sack now. So it's SD, Scale Shot, Earthquake, Stone Edge, presumably. Okay. How valuable is Slowking? I feel like it's probably pretty good at this point. T-Spike would be kind of nice too. We're definitely counting on Absol living in EQ, and we're going to go in an Ice Beam. So let's click Power Whip here. We'll die to this. We can go in an Ice Beam here. If we die, we die. We die. Sometimes, guys, the game just does not want you to win, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. I think that was immaculately played. We just kind of got absolutely RNG fested on. That was a total disaster, and there was nothing I could have done about that. Okay, yeah, that was, well, all right. Whew, shake it off. I will say, these games we've had have been pretty BS. I feel like we've just been getting pretty consistently awful luck, so I think we can turn this around. I don't think this team is as bad as going 2-0 in the 1600s. I think we just happened to have gone 2-0 in the 1600s, if you know what I mean. I immediately went for the Power Whip because some of them like to stay in normal form, and that paid off. Okay, on these, do we click? I think we can just U-turn on these guys. Glowking can come in super happily on this. Let's go for a T-Spike as Gambit comes in. We've got Colbur, so we could switch and try to preserve the Colbur. We could go Lando. I think I like just switching Landorus and preserving the Colbur for later. And let's get up rocks. I think with Terapagos and Diancie, I don't think these Pokemon have boots. That further makes me think they don't have boots. Yeah, let's this Pokemon is a menace, dude. Do we Z-Fly? No, we don't Z-Fly. We U-turn here. So here's the problem. Z moves, right? Because we could go Moltres, and then if this thing clicks Z Outrage or Z-Fly, we just die. And that's pretty bad. So what do we do? We could go Gold. Gold Make It Rain does a lot, but not enough. We can't Trick, because once again, Z moves. Yeah, Molt Roar, like in theory, is good, but then, and also, if we lose Molt, we're probably cooked this game. As much as I don't want to lose Landorus, I think the right play is to go Molt, and then double Lando, because that can at least cover the double DD and the Z. Substitute, that's not good. Okay, so, yeah, wow. Okay, that's not good. But that actually, no, that's actually not the end of the world, because we can probably go Molt and Roar now. I don't think you're sub-Z. Yeah, okay. Maybe they were sub-Z, but if they were very greedy, and we got them off the field. We're going to click Flamethrower. We absolutely go Gold. We never let this thing spin. We're just going to go for Make It Rain. They did not anticipate the Scarf, and they're going to die. As I said, I don't think either of these Pokemon have boots. If you're not going to run, yeah, exactly. I was going to say, if you're not going to run an offensive Volcarona, like what is the point to all these hazards? What is even the point? So we're going to roar this thing immediately. Not playing games. I'm going to roar this thing immediately as well. Yeah. Not okay. We can roost on. Actually, let's just make sure a T-Bolt doesn't kill. Thunderbolt, 25% chance to kill. Not a lot, but let's switch. We have no reason to be playing this game risky. We get the nice Colbur Berry activated there. Good thing we saved that. I mean, not like it was like super important, but you know, it's kind of nice. There are no rockers left other than Kingambit, and there's no way that's a rocker. So let's go Molt, and we can roost this up. Yep. Let's U-turn on this. Okay, that's fine. I was slightly, not really, but like you never know when you're going to get hit by and yeah, we can just go this and click Chili here. You never know when you're going to get hit with the unexpected Destiny Bond, so I didn't want that to happen, but we can just win with Absol now. Yeah, we don't need to play any games with this. We can knock. That thing will die on entry, and then we can CC. Okay, so we did pretty well against that HO. That was a pretty dominant game. Team performed well there. Also, yeah, guys, please do remember to like the stream. Some guy said team seems to lack the ability to apply pressure. We have not been having issues applying pressure. I don't think we've been getting destroyed before we can kill the opponent. Our team is pretty offensive and is definitely putting our opponents at threat too. We just keep getting swept by stuff. So that pressure is not the issue. And we're facing Trishula. Guys, okay. I'd rather just face random ladder people, but if we must do a Mega Absol Ditto, so be it. Trishula at an absolutely abysmal elo, so we're gonna have to deal with that. And we're also going to have to deal with them having knowledge of our team. Also not ideal. I like Wellspring lead here. Matches up pretty well into almost everything. Let's U-turn. I don't want to get poisoned right away. I think we can U-turn here and go into Glow King and set up T-Spikes, which actually look amazing here. Hopefully we don't get flip turned on. Okay, yeah, that'd be a crazy bold play. We can get up T-Spikes, and that's looking great. I think Wish there was kind of a throw. I don't really know what that's getting you. Yeah, because I'm definitely going to make it hard for you to remove those things. I guess Hydreigon has removal, but surely you don't run that, right? Okay, I think we go Wellspring and just U-turn here. It's going to do a good chunk. Scarf Draco doesn't kill. Looking at this team, is this dry Scarf? Probably. I don't want to let Ogerpon take a U-turn if we don't need to. So actually, I'm going to take that back and say I think we go Landorus instead. Landorus looks good here, and I kind of just want to let the big Z-Fly rip. I don't think well, Choice Specs. I don't think you run Choice Specs as a 50% chance to kill, even if it is Specs. Z-Fly here, it's a bunch of stuff hard. I say I'm just going to let it rip. Okay, we get Olo coming in. Not ideal. I think we U-turn into Glow King. I don't want to get flip turned on here. And it's just going to go for a Wish. We can get up a Spike here. Dry comes in. Let's U-turn this time. If it's Scarf, we'll find out now. It is Scarf and goes for a Dark Pulse, and this gives us a really great entry opportunity for Absol. We can click Knock Off here, and with T-Spikes, that Mola is actually in real trouble. And Tusk is not going... If it's Boots, it will hate this getting removed, and if it's not Boots, it's not going to take this well either. Yeah, good thing we didn't get flinched there. The way today's been going, that's honestly, that's a huge win. We also could... Okay, hold up. We could not Mega Evolve if we suspect this thing's going to click Dark Pulse again. It probably doesn't do that, though, does it? It'd be pretty hyped to get an attack boost, but I think that's just a bad play. Let's go for the more attack. Yeah, that was the right move. Okay, and let's go Ogerpon again. And I think we can actually Power Whip here. Yeah, Power Whip looks good. And I think we do it again. I'm not seeing a good switch into that. I mean, Hydreigon's dying now. And Mola is dying as well. At least the standard Mola. If it's maxed out, but I don't think it is. Can we please hit? Can we please hit today? We hit. Okay, beautiful. Speed on Trishula's side gone, which is great news. That is great news. The T-Spike has been great. There are so few poison types that are like high usage in this tier. It's actually a really clutch. Okay, in comes the problem Pokemon. I think we go immediately into Absol on this. What Z's will it be? Never-ending Nightmare? Absol survives that. Barely, but it survives. Let's now click. Does Knockoff actually even kill this thing? Like, actually no, which is hilarious. But are we okay with Mega Absol dying is another question. I think in the service of taking out this Goldengo, I think that's... But then we don't have anything that outspeeds Wellspring. We could just go Molt on this as well. Now that it doesn't have the big Ghostium, it's less of a threat. Perhaps I'm fearing a poisoned Ogerpon too much. I think we just click Knockoff. I think we push our advantage while we're ahead. And we go Ogerpon on this every time. We have really no reason not to at this stage. Yeah, like the Toxic Mist doesn't really matter there. Like yeah. I think we set up another Spike. Cool. And this time I feel like we U-turn into Molt. I think we could Cudgel here and then go Absol, which makes some sense too, but I think we just U-turn into Molt and click Flame. Yeah, and let's just Flamethrower here. That will kill. And we don't get dropped, which is nice too. I mean, only the first drop would have mattered, but it still would have been unfortunate. It is Boots Tusk. It is Boots Tusk, which is obviously not what we wanted to see. But as Rapid Spin does kill, I think we go Gold. If we get red, we get red. We don't get red. We're epic. We're awesome. We're amazing. How much is Mola dying here to make it rain? It's not really... Okay, I'm pretty sure it is with the double hazards. So let's go... Oh, it's... Okay, with the critical hit, definitely. So, yeah, we don't let it wish up. We finish it off here. Yeah, I'm clicking this again. This is still really solid damage, and this Great Tusk is kind of the last line of defense you have. Trishula getting a bit desperate there, going for the spin. I get it, but I don't think that was a great play. And we're just going to go in an Ice Beam here. We kill the Tusk. Absol coming in. I think we preserve... Let's go Glow King, because it's got the Colbur. Okay, we blanks into the Sucker Punch. We can now go Lando, just get an Intimidate off. Oh, it's the... Oh, right, I forgot. It's the SD one. This thing does not even come close to killing with a knockoff, so we can just U-turn here. And let's go Glow King. Colbur, Glow King here, clicking Sludge Bomb. Looks pretty good. I'm not going to say GG till it's over. Okay, and now it's over. GG. All right. Got a solid win on Trishula there. That was good. Let's see chat's reaction. Like the stream for that. Beating Trishula. Everybody loves that. Okay, we get a rematch against our enemy. I think the plan should be pretty similar to last time. I want to get up rocks immediately. Well, actually, hold on. Let's check. How much is a Moltres with Flyinium Z doing to a Landorus, doing to our Landorus? It's not killing, and we are killing, so that is pretty relevant. That is quite relevant. I think I kind of want to start with Wellspring. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, because it's just going to be a Serp. Let's get up a Spike. I think the hazard approach was good last time, and it's good this time. We can go for a U-turn now. If this thing wants to get up dual screens, that's fine. That's not a problem. I think I like Absol An immediate, well, maybe not. It's probably Leaf Storm. It doesn't have glare. That's something we got to remember. It has defog, but it doesn't have glare. Defog removes screens on both sides, right? Or does it not? I can't remember. I think we go... Okay. I don't think defog removes screens, so I feel like this approach of mine maybe isn't that great. But we can go molt pretty safely here, and let's click U-turn. I think that's fine here. Okay, that went all right. Go Ogre Pawn. This thing had T-Wave though, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, it had T-Wave. I remember this now. We could go Lando here. Thing probably has Ice Beam though, doesn't it? It won't kill though, I don't think. Let's go Lando. I know this was kind of the mistake last time, but I feel like keeping up rocks is the only real chance we have. And I'm just kind of hope it doesn't have Ice Beam too. Because this Molt is like our worst nightmare. We have Roar on our Moltres now, which is also a reason I'm a little bit more comfortable letting Lando take, you know, a little bit of chip. Not a lot, but a little bit of chip is perhaps acceptable. If we U-turn and it clicks Nasty Plot, are we just cooked? Is the thing. It clicked Nasty Plot. I was hoping it would not do that. It did do that. Even without the Z, it's probably this Pokemon, man. Oh my gosh. We can go Ogre Pawn and click Ivy Cudgel, but then it just clicks Nasty Plot, and then we literally just lose the game on the spot, don't we? Should we have clicked Z Fly? But like that would have just, if it clicked Agility, then we would have just like lost on the spot there. Yeah, we might have to go Scizor, but then we don't have a spin blocker, which is really bad because we're a Hazard Stack team. We might have to go like CB Scizor though. Gives us another pivot, which is kind of nice. The gold is just not, it's not been really doing it, has it? Let's go Ogre Pawn. I think we have to go and maybe get a critical hit here. I liked the new Superman movie. It wasn't a very good cinematic beginning to, and I'm going to put this phone down now, but I'll talk about the Superman. I think the Superman movie was good as a movie. As a start to a universe, it tried to pack in way too much. Okay, we can't really complain about that role, but it was kind of annoying still. Let's go for Ivy Cudgel here. That did not kill this time. Please get the hit. Can we get a critical? No, we do not. But can Absol kill now? I think our opponent may have thrown by going for that. Yeah, after Reflect goes down, we do kill. And I believe Ogre Pawn is the... Well, no, but that Suicune can only hit our Ogre Pawn with Scald. So maybe this is not the sack. What is the sack? Honestly, Gold. Gold is so trash. Let's let that guy go. Sucker. Okay. We're going to have to play some games now. If we lose, we lose. I'm going to click Sucker 8 times. Okay, there we go. Pretty early, honestly. This is about the time where the SERP comes in and clicks. Okay, no, you're not going to do that? All right. Okay, well, I'm going to do my molt thing. Because I don't want to kill you. It's that simple. Okay, we can go Lando here for the Intimidate, because it's probably going to click debond again. And now we can go and take very little with molt. And if we get up one more spike, this thing's dead. Although Serp is almost certainly just going to defog. So, okay, cool. Can just U-turn here, right? Or we can roar, actually. That I kind of like the idea of roar. Let's do that. Dragging out like Registeel would be awesome. We can just kill this Banette by hazards, though. Okay, what are we going to drag out now? Let's see. Banette would be ideal. Okay, you know, that's honestly pretty good, though. Banette would have been ideal, but I cannot complain about Registeel. Ooh, we're going to U-turn on the Serp. That's pretty great. It will get to defog. It will get to defog. I don't want to bounce it, because then Absol can, you know, do its thing. So let's... Okay, I think we go Landorus U-turn, and then bring in... And then bring in Absol. I think, yeah. I think we can go Landorus here and U-turn. Because surely it clicks defog, and it dies. It goes down here. And then we go Absol, which threatens in... I don't even know what you bring in. Probably like Registeel, which is really easy for us to deal with. Like, we can actually just PP stall Registeel out of body presses. Even if it does have rest last, we can PP stall it pretty easily by just switching between Glowking. Okay, it will take the defog. I didn't want to bounce it, because then we could have potentially kept Serp alive. That's why I didn't go Absol there. But we do go Absol here. But yeah, I like gold as far as blocking hazards. But as much as I want to go Scizor for the priority, I feel like it's just not going to be a reliable breaking core. We immediately start resetting hazards. As I said, this thing is not a threat at all. I mean, maybe I'll eat my words, but I'm pretty sure we can PP stall this thing without too much of an issue. I don't think it's strong enough. Yeah, let's go Molt here. Actually, that did kind of a lot. We might be cooked. Okay, we burned it immediately. I'm actually... Oh, but we had Roar. I guess I should have roared, shouldn't I? Yeah, that was a bit of a throw. Let's roar immediately. Okay, let's still roar immediately, I guess. Yeah, I should have roared the Registeel earlier. That was not good. I thought it would do like 20 to Molt. Press. I think we always go Mega Absol on these because of the T-Wave. So we click knockoff. We click knockoff immediately. I don't know what this like calc is. There's no way we're that weak, surely. Oh, that's a max defense Suicune? Nobody runs that. And also, I mean, we could just go Wellspring on this, but I'm not 100% sure. But it had sub, but it could be like sub Ice Beam. I don't know. I don't want to go Wellspring if we don't have to. We keep it in the back. Absol is pretty much useless at this stage. Like, not useless as in it's bad, because obviously knockoff looks really good into the team, but we don't need it to be like unburned for anything. That's not important, which is good, because getting burned immediately is kind of what we do around here. Okay, let's go Glowking, and okay, good play. Good play. Gotta respect that. That was nicely done. We can just go Lando though. And we can U-turn. Okay, I probably shouldn't have let myself get Wisped, but you know what? We can just go Molt. And we can just Roost. Let's go Lando on the... Yeah, on that. Okay. We can go back into Molt. We can play this game, no problem. I still think we would have been fine against the Registeel because I don't think Glowking took enough, but if there was a throw this game, that was it, I'll say. Let's go Ogerpon to block the Lunar Dance into Suicune. Oh, you just Ice Beamed. Okay, kind of wild, but I guess I gotta respect that. We can go T-Spike here, though, and that'll pretty much kill the Suicune forever. Yeah. Unless it's Rest, at which point I've ruined us all. Let's get those leftovers off. That's going to make this a lot easier. I think Lando can kill now with EQ. Let's see. Yeah, probably. Let's do that. Crest going to come in. No reason to sack it, right? Let's go Glow King. Oh, but you're probably going to go for the thing here, aren't you? Let's go Molt then. Because you're probably going to try to heal up Registeel here. Yeah, that's fine here. I don't want to get T-Wave, though, so let's U-turn. Let's U-turn into Lando. Okay. And yeah, it'll Lunar Dance there. Okay, fine. I don't think EQ does enough that we stay in. So let's just U-turn immediately, and let's just go Molt. And I think Flamethrower is doing enough that we can just click this pretty easily. I still don't know what the last move is. Like, I feel like surely you got to be Rest, but if it does Rest, we can just roar it out. I feel like I feel like I'm kind of throwing this end game a little bit, though. I think I definitely could have played this better. It is Rest, yeah. We are doing 1, 2. I'm trying to think. I don't think we're doing quite enough. We can fish for critical hits, which we do have a good chance to get. No, it can also wake up and get the amnesia, which will be to its benefit. Yeah, so we do have to do the roar thing here. I should not have let this thing get tricked. Yeah, I'm getting old, getting washed. Okay, let's sack Lando here, and then we can just go Molt and click Flamethrower again. I think with critical hits factored in, this is in our favor. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty... Chances of critical hit are like over 60%. So at this point, we're probably not going to get one. But I wonder if we can PP stall the body presses. That is the next plan. Okay, we got bad luck with that. I think we fish for a flame body. We do not get it, unfortunately. We are getting very bad luck in this endgame, I will say. This is pretty tragic. Like, the odds of not getting the burn and then not getting... Yeah, this kind of sucked. All right, GG. I definitely threw that, letting Moltres get tricked. That was a huge, huge, huge throw. That was a huge throw. I mean, there was terrible luck involved too, but that was a huge throw. But yeah, when you have 24 flamethrowers and you don't get one critical hit, that is very unfortunate luck. That is very unfortunate luck. And I think a flame body burn earlier would have saved us and been able to PP stall as well. But yeah, that sucked, honestly. That was super annoying. But I should have played better. That was my fault. Okay. Here we go. This is a very easy Wellspring lead. Okay, interesting Aegislash. Could hit us with the Never-Ending Nightmare. Probably best to go Lando on this. Okay, unfortunately, it's a special Never-Ending Nightmare. Not a physical. That does suck. Probably going to be a Shadow Sneak or a Switch here. In either case, we go Absol to cover. Okay, and let's just go for the knockoff. Hopefully it's not King's Shield as well. Yeah, that does suck, though. Special Never-Ending Nightmare I didn't think was too popular, but I guess I don't know my Aegislash too well. Yeah. Oh, man. I really should have won that last game. I was... Although, no, the not being Scarf thing really wouldn't have done much. Okay, we can immediately throw off a CC. Our opponent might see it coming. They might not. We'll see. Either way, we absolutely go for it here. But yeah, let me focus up on this game. Let me let the tragedy lie in the past. Okay. I think we can just fish for a U-turn Flame Body here. Unfortunately, our Landorus is cooked and there's a Dracovish, so that's not good, but... You know, you do what you can. Or not a Dracovish, but Dracozolt, excuse me. Okay, and it's just going to hard switch. Good play. Gotta give it up. I think they've been playing so aggressive. I think I'm going to U-turn. They click Bolt Peak immediately. They did not get burned. I was thinking we go hard Lando, then switch Glow King, but you know what? I stand by the play. Sometimes you get red and you just get smoked. Sometimes you get red. I think that was a fine move, but it happens. Okay, Toxic Spikes gets us something this game. Not a lot, but let's do it anyway. Toxic Spikes, yeah, it does something. It does something. And I'm going to Chili. This thing here is special, as we've seen. So the Shadow Ball will do a good chunk, but it's not going to kill us. Yep. And we can go Absol here, which looks pretty nice, and just get a nice knockoff. Or actually, let's go for the CC. As I said, I think we've got to play aggressively this game. And... okay, let's go. Well, this thing probably has a fighting move last, to be honest. Let's go gold. That covers the fighting move and the Corv coming in. Yeah, okay, we got that right. But yeah, this is so bad. We are in a very bad spot here. This is really not good. You don't want your Moltres to be dead for this. Because when it's defensive, like it's eating a Shadow Ball for breakfast. Let's go Lando on the King Shield. It clicked Shadow Ball. You know what? As I said, I'll say it again. I stand by the play. We got destroyed, but I think it was the right move. We can go for spikes here. I mean, how was I to know it would stay in and click Shadow Ball on a gold? Like, I know our opponent's playing very bold, but I'm not getting the calls right, unfortunately. I think there's still an angle where we can win with Absol in the end game here. Hazards are very good. Hazards are a very good resource. We're going to go for... let's go for the spikes again. Okay, see, here's what I'm saying. Like, we just keep getting called out. Every single time we keep getting called out. We can Sucker here. Do we even kill with a knockoff in defensive form? I think we do. Yeah. Okay, let's go for the CC. Yeah. I don't think I'm playing this poorly, but just sometimes when you're in a bad matchup / bad situation, you've got to play aggressively, and then your opponent just reads you every single turn without exception. It happens, and when that happens to you, you lose, and that's it. You're done. That's kind of the... But Absol, like, low-key can win this game. Yeah, which is why they're roosting, because they know Absol, like, can almost kind of win this game. I want a trick, but I feel like that's just gonna get me again. So let's just click Shadow Ball. Okay, good. We can click Shadow Ball again. We'll outspeed next turn as well. Actually, no. Yeah, no, Glow King's probably not going to live too. I don't want to give Excadrill a free entrance because of... Okay, let's think about this again. I think we actually do have to go Glow King here. As bad of a play as it seems, we have to go Glow King here because we cannot afford to lose like actually a single Pokemon. Yeah, like I figured it would just Earth Power, but as I said, like I think we can maybe go Absol here and live in Earth. No, we don't live in Earth Power. All right, let's go back into Gold. At least Sand will have to be reset. So at least there's that. I kind of forgot about the Smooth Rock, which was not good by me. I should have just clicked Shadow Ball. So that was, yeah, that was pretty darn bad. Maybe Make It Rain would have been better there, but we're getting cooked either way. We lost way too many plays. When you get like when you lose hard reads and lose like half your team, you're not making it back from that. Let's go Absol. Okay, yeah, as I said, you know, sometimes you just get hard read every time. Good, well played. Got to give it up. That was nicely done. Okay. That blows. All right, we need to change some stuff up. Gold has been a consistent underperformer. But how are we going to keep hazards on the field otherwise? Like, we go Scizor, we don't have an answer for Corviknight, which is so tough. I guess we just roll again. I feel like we very much could have won that one. We just lost every single play. Yeah, no, I just lost like every single time there was a prediction. I lost at that game, and that's, I mean, I guess you could say there's some aspect of skill with that, but there's a lot of luck too. You just kind of have to like click and hope in those bad matchups. I don't like click and hope kind of teams. I like teams that are well built and don't need to rely on hard reads. But this is shaping up to be one of those teams that does need that. Absol is, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like Absol is kind of failing the team, but the team's kind of failing Absol too. Let's actually no, we don't T-spike here. Let me slow down a little bit. Let's try to get a positive or at least even up the record before we end this. Likely just going to go into Crown. Okay, it's a Rocks Terapagos. That is not common at all. You do not see that often. But we are seeing it now. Ah, okay, let's go Gold. Hope it's like Flamethrower. Go back into Glow King, and then we can click Sledge Bomb maybe. But that's not good. This is actually... Terapagos is unfortunately kind of offensively threatening to our team. Moltres is not taking a Terra Starstorm either, which is bad news. And I don't want to trick immediately because Gold speed tier is kind of important for this game. Yeah, I didn't see Terapagos having Stealth Rock with the Tusk on the team. Did they run that, like, ever? 11%. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, there's the Moth. We don't really have an answer for Moth, do we? Future Sight's not killing. I think we have to click it anyway. Because if it gets, yeah, if it got the boost and I went into Lando, I think we just died. No, I could have chillied into Lando, but I think this is fine. Let's go. Oh God, not another one. All right. Does Molt Flamethrower into Future Sight kill? Has a chance to. Looks like a chance of middling odds. I think we have to go for it. We could also go Absol and trade. Okay, and we don't get it. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna have Flamethrower. At this point, we probably sack Molt. It was a really good Pokemon, but yeah, I guess I should have just traded Absol. I didn't want to be sacking the featured Mon, but I guess that's probably what you ought to do most games with an Absol. Any wave Mega Absol without needing gold. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't think there's any hope for this team. I think gold is not performing well enough. We got to get rid of it. We need real priority. This tier is too chaotic. We're going to keep getting swept if we don't change something. So I'm going to go to CB Scizor. Like, I can't keep getting swept like this. U-turn CC. We'll leave the knockoff to Absol. We'll go with a speedy banded Scizor here. And but I just don't know what to do about this Corviknight problem. I guess we could maybe add Flamethrower here. Let's go, yeah, we lost our Molt, so we're going to lose to the Scizor now. But before we do, let's see if we can cheese it with Z-Fly Lando. Maybe there's a way out of this game. I really don't think so, but maybe. I'm kind of checked out. I think we've lost this one. Let's go for the Z-Fly, though. We're not doing a huge amount, but it's not that defensive. Okay, hopefully we don't get a Roost from Scizor here. We do not see the Roost come out. So it's going to Bullet Punch here. Let's go Gold on the Bullet Punch. Preserve Lando, and then we can go for the Shadow Ball. Good. Okay, well, do we want to Make It Rain, predicting a potential Terapagos? We're going to have to switch this out after anyway, and it looks like Make It Rain is killing. So let's go for that. Okay. I think we're still probably cooked. I think we actually kind of lose to Terapagos, but we're going to try our best, guys. I think we can maybe go Flamethrower to help with the Corf problem. Booster Special Attack. That's actually kind of best case scenario here. We have to sack something. It's either Glowking or Lando that's going to get sacked. Is Glowking realistically ever coming back? Probably not, right? But Lando is also not coming back and can't actually Sludge Bomb anything either. We have an Intimidate with... I think we sack Glowking. I think that's the right... Okay, it was Agility. We are boned. Yeah. Okay, let's well, there's critical hits. Let's chili here and get out of this. Maybe Absol can kill with a Sucker Punch. Does it kill in one? No. Well, it's going to be 0 HP Crown, but no. So we're going to have to get a critical hit. Ogerpon can live one, but realistically, we need Ogerpon healthy for any chance in this endgame. We're just going to need to throw out a Sucker and get a critical hit. That's the only way. Okay, we don't get it. GG. Oh, hold on. Focus miss. Heck yeah. That's what you like to see. Okay. There we go. All right. I mean, there's still probably no hope. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Maybe you do. That this was, like, we were in a really dire spot. But, okay, Terapagos, do we kill with a CC? 56% chance. We absolutely go for that roll. We get it in a miraculous turn of events. All of a sudden, guys, it's looking like this one's doable. Great Tusk. I like how Rapid Spin has a good chance to kill here. That's the thing. If we let this thing Rapid Spin, we actually lose the game, which is wild, but that is the point that we're at. I think Landorus might be the play. And then Ogerpon. Then U-turn. No, is there... How much is Extreme Speed doing? Unboosted. Seriously? Oh, but that's after a close... Okay, so we could... I'm trying to think. I think we need to Ice Beam with Absol in to Make It Rain with Gold. So I want to try to bait this thing into clicking like a defense-lowering move. What do we do? What do we do? Dude, this is so hard. Okay. We need... Can we ever kill this thing with an Ice Beam from Absol, the Great Tusk? If it gets -1 Spadef, yes. So we need this thing to click Headlong Rush, but it can't click Headlong Rush on a Goldengo. I think... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to Rapid Spin here. No, but this player's 1500. I think a good player Rapid Spins here because they want to be faster and they can kill the Absol. I don't know if this person Rapid Spins here. This is the problem. They might be good. Maybe they're just laddering up on it all. But... Because I think a good player wants to Rapid Spin here. But... This is a read. Because if it Rapid Spins, I think we pretty much automatically lose the game. I'm going to say it Rapid Spins and go Gold. Okay. Now we go Ogerpon. Hopefully on a CC. That'd be ideal, actually, if they like, go for a hard read here. Okay, Ice Spinner is fine. I guess that's not the end of the world. Can we Cudgel here into a Sucker Punch kill 13. Let's check the calc on that. I think that's our best shot, is to do that. So let's cudgel. We get the roll for the sucker. Okay. That's good. That's perfect. Does knockoff kill here? Because I don't want to reveal that we have Ice Beam. Because it might bait the D-Knight into setting up when it could kill us. Okay, it looks like that's guaranteed. And based on the Ogerpon Ivy Cudgel, which did 88, right? That's what it is. So let's go for the knockoff. And I think we can Ice Beam now against the D-Knight. And then we can double Ice Beam, and then the gold should be able to outspeed and kill with Make It Rain. Roosting does not work here. Make It Rain. We outspeed. You can't extreme speed us. I'm pretty sure we got the win. Whew. Okay, so there you guys know. I'm not totally washed. I can make reads. It totally didn't work the game before, but it did work this time. Okay, that was pretty hype. Gotta like the stream for that. But all right, let's try without the gold. As cool as the gold was, it has generally not been performing well. Let's give this team a try with the flamethrower Absol. Absol did save a game, so there's some credit to that. It's a Shuckle team. We automatically, I feel like, just lead with. Well, yeah, I think we have to lead with Absol. It's a Shuckle team. Our opponent might not even process the Absol and just auto lead with Shuckle anyway. Hmm. Yeah, Absol did one. It got one win. And this guy's thinking pretty hard here. So maybe they do realize I have an Absol. I feel like I still have to lead with it. Because if we let webs go up, I think that's kind of the end of the road for us. Shame we dropped CC and immediately see an Atra. That's not so good. Absol does look good here offensively. Is our opponent going to make a move? They're thinking really hard about this lead. Timeout will be kind of lame. Are they going to time out? I think they might. It's looking like it. I don't know why you would. I mean, this is not a slow team. I guess maybe they're, I don't know, family dinner time or lightning strike or something, or I don't know. Had to take a crap really badly. I don't know. But let's go for another one. HF. Absol looks pretty good here thanks to Flamethrower. We do want to get Rock Sub. Z-Fly Lando looks really nice as well. I'm expecting a Coco or a Keldeo lead from my opponent. because I think they're going to want to prep for the Absol and Ogerpon leads. So I'm going to lead with Glow King, and we can just start with a nice Chili. Okay, plan went perfectly. I don't want a T-Spike because I don't think it's that helpful in this matchup. Okay, there's Volt Switch. Let's check that calc. That Volt Switch did a lot. I think that's choice specs. Volt Switch did 30. Yeah, that's choice. Okay, so we got a specs Coco on deck. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, in comes Scizor immediately. Feel like this is... I kind of want to go Lando and get Rocks. At the same time, part of me feels like I should go Molt and U-turn. Like maybe going Lando Rocks is a little cocky, but I feel like Lando Rocks and then go Molt is fine, even if they SD. So let's just get up Rocks. That looks just so good here. Yeah, and they're just going to U-turn. Okay, that went pretty well. I imagine maybe they've got Defog Molt here. That could be good. Might be Defog Scizor. Defog Scizor is a thing. Yeah, that tells me it's probably Defog Scizor. Let's also check that U-turn damage. -1. That U-turn did to Landorus 12. So this is 12.1. So that's a weird Scizor set, basically, is what that's telling me. Let's go Slowking. We get Flip turned on. Not ideal. Probably going to be a Hoopa here, but that's fine. That's okay. We can deal with that. Probably just right into Lando. Lando can take pretty much one of any. And actually, let's see. How much is Adamant Band hitting? Okay, unfortunately, we are getting outsped there. That is banded for sure. We got to keep Lando alive, otherwise we get smoked by Coco. So that's letting it die is not an option. What's the... Okay, that did a ton. Did 69. So this is confirmed Adamant, which is good to know. I think we can go Absol here, and actually we get a really nice boost as well. Okay, let's Mega Knockoff. I think getting this thing's item removed is going to be pretty important. Hopefully it goes into Scizor here. That would be top-notch. Beautiful. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Do the funny. We're going to get a nice mixed moment. At least I hope we're going to get. And we did not. We didn't get our moment. They knew. They figured it out. Okay, let's click Knock here. I think we have to... I think we got to make some aggressive plays. Well, are we really in that desperate of a spot? We could go Ogerpon, maybe. Let's go for that. Let's go for that. I don't think you click... Okay, you absolutely did just click a fighting move there. Let's go... Well, what damage is that? That's indicating Boots. Or Scarf. Did it take Rocks? It did, right? Yeah, it took Rocks. Let's go Moltres. That'll cover Hoopa Switch. Let's U-turn. If it turns out to be Water move... Actually, we would die here. This is really behaving like it's Scarf. What kind of pivoting set doesn't run that? Would a Surf kill us? Surf would kill us here. What would you switch into on this Moltres? If you wouldn't Surf, you would go into probably a Clodsire or a Molt. Let's go Ogerpon. Okay, yeah, so that kind of covered our bases there pretty well. We can click Ivy Cudgel now. We'll see if... I'm guessing with this team, it might be Water Absorb Clod. So that was a classic example of just a middle ground play there. Right? I figured, what are your two likely plays, even if you're Scarf or non-Scarf? So you either click a Water move, or you switch Molt, or, you know. So we kind of ended up getting covering our bases. I think I just want to go Molt on this. Yeah, and I honestly just like clicking Flamethrower. Okay, we get in the Claude, that's fine. We can U-turn here into... Can Absol take 2 Earthquakes from a Claude? Has a chance to. It's funny that it's not guaranteed. That did a ton. That did loads. I think that's kind of worth it. That's unbelievable, honestly, that Absol's that weak. I mean, that was a critical hit, which is kind of unfortunate, but still. Let's go Lando here, actually, because we can just click Z-Fly and blow something up. Okay, we get the Scizor. I think it's worth going Molt here. I don't think we stay in on this. We could go for the kill with Earthquake here. It likely would kill based on that roll, I believe. And it is going to Roost. Good play. I think we U-turn here. Okay, we catch the Claude coming in. Nice. I wish I knew what set it was, but we just don't have that information at our disposal. So I think we can go Ogre Pawn and U-turn. Get a bit more damage on the Scizor is always nice. Okay, bold play, but surely you don't click Earthquake here. You stayed in and you clicked EQ. Honestly, gotta respect it. That was a great read. Let's click Power Whip, I guess. Geez. I mean, that was nicely done. I gotta respect that. I think Scizor is going to be our win con. So I'm going to click Spikes here. I think this thing's going to Roost, and then we can bring in Molt. I think Hazards, I feel like they've got to have Defog, but I'm just going to pray they don't for some reason, and then we can win with CB Scizor. Because we're having a tough time breaking this. There's no burn, kind of unfortunate, but at least we haven't seen Defog yet. So that's a good sign. I think it's finally going to go for the Hazards, this Claude. So let's do it. And let's, yeah, there we go. I think another Spike is more valuable. And I think let's keep the Sack around. Yeah, I figured the Bullet Punch. I wish we could just get some darn hits, but doesn't seem to be in the cards. Okay, there's F-Throw going to come off and get the 2-shot, which is good. So I'm hoping we're faster than their Moltres. If we're not, I think we kind of just lose. Let's go Lando, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And do we fly? Hits through Protect, right? It doesn't. Okay. I think we fly here, honestly, because we can hit this Molt. Okay, we get the Sizz. That's kind of cool. I don't think we let this heal, because we can actually win with Bullet Punch now, so we're going to EQ this time. Okay, they don't even switch. That's good stuff. Keldeo coming in and getting chipped for the Scizor endgame is beautiful. We love to see that. We can sack. We have no reason to preserve this Lando. Flip turn. That is even better. That is even better. We love to see that. Even with a burn, I think we can win this with Scizor pretty well. We're going to go Scizor here, and we're going to click Bullet Punch. Hopefully we don't get burned. That will make it easier, but I think we can win either way. We don't get burned. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we no, yeah, this ain't psychic terrain. I'm not going to say GG till that Keldeo goes down, but okay, they're going to forfeit GG. So with the person disconnecting and giving up included, we did move up in ELO this stream, and we went even with Mega Absol. You know, it just wasn't very good. I mean, it's so frail. It's so frail. Like, it had some okay moments, but its Magic Bounce is pretty much useless. Because it can't Mega Evolve early, like, because it has such a tough time getting in. It dies to most leads, so its Magic Bounce isn't even really useful all that often. Its priority is pretty easily taken advantage of, not that reliable, and just not that strong, like, compared to a Kingambit. I just don't think it's worth using. Let's go for one more, but I don't think this Pokemon's worth using. Also, thank you. We got, someone says, O'Banion says, sup, Pinka, did you check out the leaked ZA Megas? Anything you're excited to see? Personally, can't wait to use Terra Steel Mega Metagross in December. Yeah, also, Seijuro. First of all, the Lando EQ on Scizor was not a guaranteed kill, and actually, based on the damage, it would not have killed. And, as for me playing terrible, I completely disagree. Clicking Flamethrower with the Molt worked well. I don't understand what you're... Yeah, no, and also, if we got Bullet Punch, we got farmed by Coco. I think... Yeah, Seijuro, I'd like to see you play. I think you don't know what you're talking about. That was I'm pretty happy with how I played that last game. Okay, HF probably going to be a Zard Y here, which is obviously tough. Let's lead with Glow King. Okay, that's. I kind of want to just throw off an immediate T-Spike. Let's go for that. Okay, we're gonna get U-turned on. T-Spike goes up. Cool. Like, do we go out? Here's the thing. Like, we got this such a fake Ghost Resist. It's like, ugh, what do we do? Let's go Absol. It immediately dies to a Make It Rain. Awesome. This is why this is a terrible Pokemon. We can Ivy Cudgel here, though, and that puts us in a really nice position. Actually, let's, no. Yeah, let's Ivy Cudgel. It's a fat T-Wave Gold. We died to a fat Gold Make It Rain. And we have no way of keeping these hazards up, so we're just going to get farmed this game. We can go Lando here on the probable Hex. Dude, this is so bad. Yeah, all we've got is a Scizor without knockoff, and we're trying to break a Zapdos team. So I think this is pretty well the end, as much as the end can be. Let's go for a really aggressive Z. Yeah, I was thinking probably Zapdos comes in, but I was hoping to catch a Tusk or a Zard. I think Desperation is the right move at this stage. We're totally fried. We can go this to try to block the Tusk from getting an easy spin. We can at least threaten the Power Whip. Yeah, Absol just sucks. That's the conclusion. This Pokemon's terrible. I don't think it has any place in this tier. It's way too frail. Maybe Swords Dance on HO, but I think there are better options on HO. So I can't ever imagine why you would run this Pokemon. That's the conclusion. And we're oh my god, yeah, we have nothing we can do. We can click Future Sight here and maybe like U-turn with Scizor and somehow chip the Zapdos down and then win with Bullet Punch even though there's Psychic Terrain up. That's my best plan at the moment. Let's go for another T-Spike on the Rapid Spin. And let's go Lando here. And then we can rock. Yeah. Let's hope it's slow. It's super slow. Great. Go Glow King on this. Yeah, I haven't seen the leaked Megas. Oh, but to answer that question, sorry, I have not seen the leaked Megas. So, yeah, I can't really comment on that. I don't know. Tusk comes in again, doing Tusk things. Can Scizor critical hit with a Bullet Punch yet? I don't think we're even at that point, are we? Nope. Actually, critical hit. I could do it. Yeah, we're pretty much at the point where we're crit fishing. Like, we're hoping for the best luck in the world. That's the only way we win this game. We lost Absol because it's terrible. And yeah, that wouldn't have done it. This is a super bulky Tusk. Let's go Slowking on the Lele coming in, I guess. Charizard. Okay, I mean, I guess we can Chilly Reception this, but actually, let's T-Spike up and oh, it's this. Okay, yeah, we lose. All right, GG. Yeah, Mega Absol is a terrible Pokemon. I felt often like I was playing with a 5 Pokemon team. It's just so frail. It's not nearly strong enough. Yeah. This is not a good Pokemon. This is not a good Pokemon at all. This is not a good Pokemon. Yeah. This was so much worse than I expected it to be, honestly. I thought it would do something, and it kind of did, but like when you build an entire team of pivots to support one Pokemon, obviously it's going to do stuff. I feel like some people will be deceived a bit by this stream and they'll think, oh, Mega Absol didn't do that badly. Like it killed some stuff with Ice Beam, it killed some stuff with Knockoff, but we kind of built this entire team all culminating in this one slot, supporting this Pokemon with constant pivoting moves, and it just used it to do like barely anything the entire time. Yeah, it's just a really bad Pokemon. This was not good. But guys, thank you for attending. I hope you had a good time. Don't use Mega Absol if you want to win. That's about all I have to say. Oh yeah, the Z moves everywhere too, making knockoff terrible is not so great. The fact that it can't even kill gold, being like a completely not real ghost resist was pretty bad. I think we had some decent games. Absol did something, but I think we can chalk this up as a failure and move on. This Pokemon's not going to do. Okay, well guys, thank you for attending. We'll call it there. Try to time this. We'll end this in 3, 2, 1.